Let's talk about Joker, Folie et Deux. By this time, a lot of you have already seen the reviews and fan reactions to this movie, and people are not liking it. But what I can say is that it's not a bad movie. It's not a good movie. It's just a movie. It didn't incite any strong reactions for me personally. I did enjoy the first Joker movie. I thought it was a well shot, well produced, and fantastically acted movie, especially Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. And then the musical score is really good and iconic, and the music that was used in it has kind of gone itself into mainstream. But with this Joker sequel, I feel like there's an aimlessness to the film as a whole. There's like some concepts that Todd Phillips had, but he did not know how to execute them properly or mesh them into a cohesive, fun, original, or well-told story. There are moments and sequences in this movie that I thought were shot well, were directed well, especially a couple of the musical numbers. But nothing felt like it meshed properly to make a statement, aside from the statement being that it's the anti-Joker movie. And that was something I was looking forward to critique and kind of like a reflection on what Todd Phillips did with the Joker and the societal impact it had, and people kind of misinterpreting the message behind it. Like, this movie really hits home that mental illness and your loneliness is not a excuse to do horrible things. There are still consequences. My biggest gripe with this movie is that it's supposed to be a musical and it's not done in a very interesting way. There are some musical numbers that I thought were good and cute and well directed, but for the most part, it's like Todd Phillips was trying to do a musical but has no background in it and didn't know how to properly incorporate the musical elements into his film. Like, there are moments where it feels like the songs are building up to this like crescendo, but it never does. It doesn't feel like it concludes, it just cuts off. Or there's moments where it feels like the music is starting halfway and you're supposed to already be feeling a certain way, but it doesn't. But the music itself is nice. I do like the throwback to like older classic Hollywood type of musicals. But the real highlight of the film are the performances in this movie. Again, Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor. His Joker portrayal here is just as good. He's fully all in, committed to this role. Gaga herself is a great singer and performer, and her performance is good, but I feel like the Harley Quinn and like her point in this film is very underutilized. There is this phenomenal animated sequence in the beginning of the film that kind of portrays what the Joker is, the duality of it, if it's a persona or if it's the man himself. And that part is probably the best intro to a movie I've seen this year. But having said that, I don't think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's just a movie that's there. I don't think I'm going to think much about it aside from this review and maybe seeing the discourse online and maybe talking to a friend here and there just to say I've seen it. But I don't think I'm ever going to look forward to watching this movie again. I don't think it's going to ever cross my mind again. It's a movie that just kind of exists. The more I kind of reflected on this movie, it just feels like a bad attempt at a Chicago remake, but without any of the fun or flair. But again, it's still a well-acted movie, but I just can't recommend it. I don't know who the audience is meant for. It's definitely not the musical theater people. It's not the original Joker fans. It's not for people that want to see an anti-Joker movie. It's just, again, it's just a movie that just kind of exists.